speaking of insurance for whips and cars and stuff like that.
Or buses, huh?
Man,
man.
you going to need some insurance for this next guest we bringing on to the show right now. Super Bowl champ. Did it in his hometown, Detroit, right? The guy is also a Hall of Famer. He's a Pittsburgh Steeler, great 6-time Pro Bowler, and just an all-around lovable dude. Has been mentor to many. I was a part of that list. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of the swag that I brought to the table and a lot of the deals that I was putting out there was learned and taught and trained by my next guest, this guy. They call him Bussy. Y'all know him as Jerome Bettis. What's happening, Bus?
Hey, what's up, guys? Man, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Oh, man, Bussy, what's going on, baby?
Hey, how you doing, Black?
Hey,
what's up, man?
Everything is beautiful, man. It's good to hear from you, man. Oh, I got some stories, and we're going to get into it, man. Oh, man, it's good to hear from you.
Hey, we can't tell all the stories, man, but it's good to see you guys on the show, man. Congratulations, brother.
Appreciate it. Now, here's what's interesting. Before we get into the topic of if the Pittsburgh Steelers are overrated, a lot of people don't realize the culture that surrounds being a Pittsburgh Steeler. Now, we know you started off with the Colts, with the Rams, and then the whole Colts thing takes place, and you end up in Pittsburgh. Now, you end up there, and a lot of people took to that hard-nosed, right in your face type of defense in Pittsburgh, and you came in, and I believe it was what was it with John L. Williams? I believe that was in front of you. You guys came in and became a backfield that was dynamic in so many different ways. I know Whitman came into the fold as well at some point. Just talk about what that was like, your mentality, and how that played a part in what you represented in Pittsburgh. It was like a perfect marriage, and just talk a little bit about that, Bus.
Well, when I got there, John L. was already gone. I was there. Eric Pegram was the other running back who had played in Atlanta and then
scat back
in Pittsburgh. Yep, scat back. And so it was a perfect situation where I was able to come in and kind of insert myself. And this was the kind of offense that was a ground and pound offense, not something you see today in today's game. It was about 3 yards, 4 yards, a cloud of dust, and we were able to be really efficient because we had a dominant defense. So we didn't have to score 30 points to win a football game. If we scored 17, 21 points, we were probably going to win that game because our defense wasn't going to allow, but maybe 10 points or 14 points. So we just knew we had to control the ball, control the time of possession, and we were able to do that. And I was the perfect vehicle for it because they love to run the football, and that's what I was born to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Hey, so Busty, so the other day I'm watching the Steelers game, right? Pittsburgh they are in the third quarter. It's 3rd and 3. The score is like 12-7. 3rd and 3, they're like on the 30-yard line, and they come out and empty.
Yeah.
So empty, for everybody that doesn't know, is 5 wide receivers, a back and 4 wide receivers, and there's no running back in the backfield. And I said to myself, and I looked beside myself, and I told my boy, I said, man, 15 years ago, if I was in Pittsburgh, this would never happen. We're going to come in there with 2 tight ends, a fullback, and Jerome is going to get the ball. Everybody in the world, everybody in the stadium knows it, and you have to be able to stop it because they know we're running it. So let's just talk about the evolution of the running back over the last 15, 20 years. When I got to Pittsburgh in 2000, we were in the AFC Central. Now, let me put y'all up on game right quick and drop the running backs that were in this conference. Fred Taylor, Jacksonville Jaguars. Corey Dillon, Cincinnati Bengals.
Jeez.
Eddie George, Tennessee Titans. Jamal Lewis, Baltimore Ravens.
Wow.
And Jerome Bettis, in Pittsburgh, and you knew that these guys were getting the ball 30 times a game.
Man.
You knew that they were getting 30 times a game. So now, Jerome, when you look at the game, what do you think about the evolution of the running back over the last 15 years?
So I think the evolution has taken place because of offensive changes. So in high school, they started running kind of the run and shoot. They kind of took it from June Jones and started to try to change on it and develop it. And then next thing you know, you saw colleges going to the spread offense. And next thing you know, once the high school and the colleges start going to the spread offense, then the players change. So, for instance, the running backs that were 220, 6'1", 220, 225,
right?
They went from a running back to a linebacker. And LaVar, he can attest to that. He was a running back in high school. And in this day and age, there would have never been a question about he would have never played running back. He would have always been on the defensive side because these offenses have changed. So now they ask these smaller running backs to go more lateral and not downhill. So because of that, now you go to the college game. Well, if the high schools don't want those backs anymore, the colleges can't find them. So now the colleges make the adjustment. They go to a different kind of game, and all of a sudden you only have 5 or 6 schools that's putting out running backs that can go in the NFL. And so you look at Georgia, you look at Alabama, you look at LSU, you look at Ohio State, USC, maybe Arkansas, maybe Wisconsin. If they don't come from those schools, they're not going to the NFL because the other schools don't run the football the same kind of way. So now in the NFL, since you can't find the feature running backs anymore, now they say, okay, well, we can't just line up and run downhill because we don't have the kind of running backs that can do it. So now we're going to go 2 platoon, and then now we're going to throw the football more. So it's been the gradual evolution of the game because you haven't had those stars at the running back position. Every year you usually get one guy that's a star running back coming out of college, right? Yeah. And this year we may not get that one guy. So what happens is when you don't have a feature running back, you've got to kind of make do with what you have, and then the focus goes from running the ball to throwing the ball. But when you get a guy like Derrick Henry, you say, you know what? We are going to run him till the wheels fall off. And
it still works. And it works.
Yeah. And but here's the thing. You have to find that star. Ezekiel Elliott, he's a star. You don't have that. You don't have those guys coming out every year. See, you don't have a guy in that's going to be coming out in the draft this year like a Ezekiel Elliott, like a Derrick Henry. They're just not there anymore because they've changed positions and they're playing linebacker now. And so that's the sad part about the running back position.
Well, let's talk about football of today in your Pittsburgh Steelers. First time in team history, they're 11-0. But there's some rumblings that they're really not a really good 11-0 undefeated team that they are. What's your take on, one, how they're playing, and do you believe that they are overrated? I have a hard time believing that a team that's undefeated 11-0 is overrated, but what's your thoughts?
But TJ, I'm sure you don't have a hard time believing that the Steelers are overrated.
No, hey, listen,
shots fired.
I'm joking.
No.
Shots fired.
No, he's not. Tell him, Bussy. Tell him.
They don't like me in Pittsburgh, and I'm cool with that. I don't really like them, but I respect them.
No.
Tell him, Bussy.
Hold on.
Don't back down from it.
I know. No. The joke, the running joke is always with TJ. He says that. But he said, they don't like me there. You don't like them. You started it.
Hey, Bus, real quick before you answer that question, man. Look, man, do y'all know how I got that terrible towel, man? I was in the elevator getting ready to go to the game, and the fan a Pittsburgh fan was on the elevator. I paid him $100 for that towel. I came out pregame. Marvin tried to take it from me. I did not let him take it. Gave it to Hugh Jackson. So after the game, I saw it in Hugh Jackson's back pocket. So I just took it out, and it was just like impromptu.
The disrespect.
Man.
Now the truth comes out all these years later
Right.
of what took place.
Here's the thing. So when you have to look at it in the court of law. So you telling me the $100 you gave him, that was intent. That meant
y'all knew y'all was gonna win.
Yeah, I really thought we were gonna win the game.
No. It's not that you were gonna win. You said I'm gonna do something nasty with this.
Nah,
guy.
you know what I wanted to do? I had really just planned on wearing it pregame as a streamer. And I had it, and Marvin, I just planned on wearing it pregame as a streamer, and Marvin saw that, and don't you do that, TJ. We used to play, y'all, man, no lie. The coaches would come into the meeting on Wednesday, and I swear to God, they thought we were playing like a super team. Like, y'all didn't act like this when we just played last week. Why y'all acting like this? We played the Steelers all the time, man. They used to irritate me, man. But I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry.
No. But here's the thing. TJ, what you did though, it created a rivalry because before that, it was maybe it was in those coaches' minds and everything. What they were doing, they weren't creating an environment that's conducive to success. And so when you did that, you said, hey, we're not scared of these guys, right? Which created the rivalry that went on long after all of us have since gone. The rivalry became relevant, and I think that was important. So as much as we all joke about it, it was important what you did, though.
That's dope.
Just messing with you.
Are they overrated, Bus?
Here's what I would say. They are. You can't be overrated when you're undefeated.
Truth.
But what I will say is they haven't played up to the 11-0 caliber. So I give you an example. When you look at the 10-1 Kansas City Chiefs, you look at them and you say they look like a 10-1 football team. And when you look at the Steelers, they're undefeated, but they have come up small in games. They still found a way to win, but they didn't look good doing it. And so this is a team, if you say, okay, well, can they go undefeated? I don't think the question is can they go undefeated. I think the question is can they be a number one seed? Because I think that's the true challenge for this football team is to be a number one seed. If they don't end up being a number one seed, now you say, okay, they did all of that and they weren't able to close it out. So I just think if you look at them, do they pass the eye test? I say just about, not 100%, because they are showing that, you know what, they're not focused. They're dropping footballs. They run the ball sporadically. They do just enough to win. And if you want to be a great team, you can't do just enough to win. You have to go out and dominate. And their defense has been dominating. Offensively, they've been sporadic up and down. So until they can play that complete game, I'll say right now, are they 11-0, the best team in the NFL? I don't think so. I think they're probably the second best team. I think Kansas City is probably just a little bit, the eye test looks a little bit better, but they're still undefeated, so you have to give them that credit.
Bus, that's great commentary. What I know you do a lot of work in front of the camera. What are you up to today? I mean, what you got going on? What you promoting anything? What you got going on?
Well, no, I'll be I'll just be doing some work with Notre Dame. in the fourth quarter.
You know, TJ was TJ was talking mad head on Notre Dame and how they waxed them when he was in school. So that's number 2 beef with you, not just Bengals Steelers, but he said I just want to make sure I put that out there. But
hey, I mean, don't leave me out of the conversation. I never lost to a Notre Dame team either.
Well, there you go. I never played against Notre Dame, but they beat us when he was there. So.
Michigan State was always the Step Brothers, even in their own state. Even in their own state, they're the Step Brothers. So I get that part. I get that part. And I will say, I mean, Oregon State. I would say the same thing for them. They're the Step Brothers, and they're.
I can't even disagree with you. I can't even argue that one at all.
So there's always going to be animosity against a Notre Dame team that has gold helmets. I mean, we all, you know what I'm saying?
Well, unless that helmet is plain white with a blue stripe on it, then you got to level up. You know what I mean?
Hey, Bussy walking around with his chest stuck out right now.
Hold on, but I mean, the We Are people.
Yeah, you got to level up on that.
You say they was because they barely won a game.
They was
clouded.
Past tense.
Clouded. I cannot argue that point today. I mean, I get that. Hey, you're right. I mean, I hate to end the segment on that. I mean, golly,
I feel a lot of hate, man.
They was.
Let's end the segment on
for old Notre Dame, baby.
Let's
them gold helmets, man.
You're right.
We let them go. You let that go, baby.
Well, you and Ray Z was my dudes, and obviously Brighton Place is a very important. That's very important to our relationship, Brighton Road. People might not know about the whole Dave. Right. Shots out to Dave's Barbershop. That's how I got to know the bus is through Dave, and so that was an amazing time coming in and seeing the bus there. So. Yeah, we appreciate you coming on, Jerome. Man, hey, look, you got to come back on because we got to talk through the Steelers deal when we get to the playoffs, and who better than you and Plex to talk us through it? And of course,
all I'm gonna say is give my people some love, man. Don't be hating on my gold helmets, and don't be hating on my Steelers, man.
Hey, man, look, you walking around with your chest stuck out, rightfully so. You deserve it because both of your teams' total record is 20-0. Wow. So congratulations.
Jeez.
Thank you, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
We appreciate you coming on. That is Jerome the Bus Bettis, Hall of Famer, 6-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champ. We appreciate you coming on.